Good morning, everybody. Today we are here to announce the results of the 2026 National Healthcare Fraud Takedown. This announcement marks the greatest combined federal and state effort in combating healthcare fraud in history. Thanks to the leadership of President Trump and the Vice President and all those folks standing behind me and next to me, we are more united than ever before. This team is working tirelessly to take down fraudsters who steal from taxpayer-funded programs and prey on vulnerable Americans. When we talk about the team that's working on these cases, I want to give some context around that. There are 9 healthcare fraud strike forces that have been part of this effort, 57 U.S. attorneys' offices, 41 state attorney general's offices, not red states, not blue states, but both working together with the federal government. Multiple law enforcement agencies, including inspector generals, some of the agencies that are here with me on this stage. That's what we talk about when we say this is an all-government approach to combating fraud. It's not just the Department of Justice, it's not just HHS, it's all government, including working with our state and local partners. Today, we are announcing federal and state charges, all of which were charged or unsealed at some point over the past 2 weeks, the past 14 days, coordinated nationwide action. Since June 8th, we've charged 455 defendants across 56, like I said a minute ago, U.S. attorneys' offices, and 45 U.S. states and territories. As alleged in the various indictments, these individuals participated in healthcare fraud schemes involving over $6.5 billion in false claims submitted to Medicare, Medicaid, and other healthcare programs. The team around me will get into more specifics, but here are a few points that stand out. In one indictment, we're bringing charges against a corporate executive in Arizona in connection to over a $1 billion fraud involving unnecessary wound grafts. This alleged scheme costs Medicare over $1 million per patient. In total, our indictment charges 11 defendants for over $2 billion in fraudulent claims in connection to alleged wound care schemes.
What?
The indictment also alleges that these individuals then used the taxpayer money to bankroll multi-million-dollar homes, luxury vehicles like a $135,000 Maserati, jewelry like an $865,000 Bulgari necklace, and to top it all off, to fund the construction of a $4.6 million hotel at a beach resort in the Philippines. We're taking back the money, the luxury cars, the jewelry, and these alleged fraudsters will face justice. The coordinated actions of the past 2 weeks have resulted in over $182 million in cash and other assets seized, making clear our healthcare fraud enforcement efforts generate a significant return on investment for our taxpayers.
Wait, pause. That's not a good significant return. Why do I say that? They took over $6.5 billion, G. You got 1.8 milli back? What? That's not even like a percentage. Facts, bro. You ain't get 6 million back at least to get at least a 1%? Bro, literally. So out of $6.5 billion, you got $180 million back. Come on, bro. Talking about significant return. There was no significant return. Yes, to the small fish. Oh, yeah, we made our money back. No, you didn't make your money back. Barely. They taking the money, lying about wound care, taking it back to their natural country, the Philippines, he just said, buying multi-million-dollar hotels, building their infrastructure back in their original land, trafficking our American dollars back to their countries, to the Philippines, to Somalia, to Africa. Bro, I don't think y'all understand what I'm saying here now. They understood the system and they knew there was a loophole. The same system in liberal cities that allow people to take advantage of. No questions asked. Oh man, this is kind of it's sickening to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
In terms of Medicaid fraud, we're able to announce today the creation of the West Coast Strike Force and the deployment of additional prosecutors, allowing us to bring charges against a record-setting 295 defendants. Our indictments allege over $518 million in Medicaid fraud between these individual defendants. You're going to hear from Director Patel in a moment, but apprehending alleged fraudsters remains a top priority of the Department of Justice and the FBI and our other law enforcement partners, including the DEA, who's here as well. At last year's takedown, a year ago, we charged multiple individuals for allegedly running a $10.6 billion medical equipment scheme using stolen identities to make false Medicare claims. Today, I can announce that earlier this month, we apprehended 2 of those defendants extradited from Estonia. Separately, over the weekend, we conducted the foreign transfer to custody of a defendant who is allegedly connected to another $3.7 billion in intended loss. I want to thank our tireless federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies.
Man, what have we done? And that's the question we need to ask ourselves. What have we done? What can of worms have we opened? Why have we allowed this to happen? I want y'all to do math. If the average person, say give or take, pays about $5,000 to $6,000 of tax money per year, right? And that's on average. Someone making about 50, 60,000-ish. You pay about like $6,000-7-ish per year. And they've stole $6.5 billion worth of taxpayers' money. Bro, we're looking at like about, give or take, range about 1.1 million people, and their tax returns has been given to fraud in the healthcare industry. No real service. It has been given to no one, and that money has been taken from you, the taxpayer, given to the feds give it to the states give it and distribute it to them. And then this is why I tell people that they should be concerned. They should be concerned because this is your money, your yearly taxes that they're taking and giving it to someone else. And then that person understands the mission and they know the system that they're allowed to finesse. Liberal states that don't want any record of people being treated due to the fact that they might be immigrated status. But instead of people actually using that for immigration or whatever, people that shouldn't be tracked, they're actually using it to finesse and saying they're giving service. Like I said, it's like someone giving you a Tylenol and charging you $15 for it. And it only cost them like 15-30 cents. But they're not even doing that. They're saying they're giving you the Tylenol and they're not giving it to you. And they're just charging you $15 for it or $30 for that one pill. It's exactly how it works. I guarantee if you go call the hospital and call billing and you see how much they charge per medicine they give you, bro, it's like 50x, 100%, 50x. They'll never give you the medication for what they bought it for. They'll never even give you the medication for 10 times of what they bought it for. They're going to sell it to you 50x. But in this situation, they saying they're giving certain service. It's like you saying you get an MRI, you never got an MRI, so they charge $15,000 to your insurance company. But the government is funding your insurance company. Insurance fraud, healthcare fraud, shit, immigration fraud, shit, niggas should be out of here. Like, and then they take the money and send it back to the Philippines, all this other stuff, Russia. They're using it's all out in California. There's hella fraud in Illinois. I just want you guys to understand the severity of the situation. It's very, very severe. Now, what can we do about it? Well, we can't do nothing, but we can stop and we can hold the requirements to the fire. We can hold the state and the federals to the fire. We can be like, hey man, y'all using our money, y'all giving our money away. Where is our money going? Because that would be the same reason they increase the taxes to pay for things that's being defrauded from them. Imagine they said, okay, we have to increase the taxes. Sorry, it's for the disenfranchised. Whole time They're not using for disenfranchised. They're using for people to take advantage of it, creating jobs that don't exist to fund their friends and their buddies. Now, let me give you a close example. Basically, recently, JB Prister has made it a requirement for kids from what grade? I think third grade to 12, 3 to 12, to have a mandatory mental health evaluation, right? And some most might say that's not a bad thing. Okay, it's not a bad thing, but they're forcing your kid to have it, right? And guess in the state of Illinois, guess who runs the only company that can do those tests to make your kid get a health care evaluation? It's JB Prister's own brother-in-law. Now, for those that don't understand or comprehend that, you have the governor of a certain state, a big state. They make a requirement by the state that this has to happen through 3 through 12th grade for the kids. And then they put in power their own family members to control it. And that's the only person that can do it. That's laundering, bro. But no, but they'll send somebody to jail for murder, let's say. And that's fine. You shouldn't hurt nobody, but when you're stealing $6.5 billion, what does that equate to? Shit, I don't know nobody life worth that much. I ain't gonna lie with you. And I ain't talking about no fancy individual out here that's like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. And I'm talking about a regular smuggler person. These are regular people, but they're finessing the government at the billions of dollars. I think that's almost even worse than killing someone. Because for an individual to make that much money, you would need about 1 million individuals. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching on that situation. I just think that this is a very, very serious situation, and we need to look into this. Not only look into it, because this is your money. This is my money. This is your money. This is everybody's money. But it's being defrauded by people that don't actually belong here. And that's the same thing for immigration when everyone's using the America to get ahead. And they're like, well, this is the land of the free, but this ain't this the land of the free, but it ain't land of the free. You ain't supposed to just get shit for free because you're here. You finesse the born Americans that are here, and the government allows it to happen, and we have no choice. So tax everybody because they can't manage the budget correctly, right? And then once they allow the fraud to happen, not saying they might be included in there or not, then they increase the taxes again. Oh man, we're running out of money. I'm only going to be in office for another year. Let's do a budget that says that this happens by mandatory. We have no choice but this to happen. We got to increase this, increase that, increase that. Oh, they can handle it. They can handle it. We didn't give them an increase on pay, but they can handle it. I don't think you guys are understanding the severity of the situation here. Most people don't, but they will. Because the older you get, the more wise you become on these certain situations. And these certain situations is imminent to the humans. Actually, this is imminent to Americans. Forget everybody else. So we need to be more selfish with our resources. We need to understand that everybody wants to be in America. Everybody wants to take advantage of the system that allows them to take advantage of. That's why certain people enjoy having a president that put his foot down. But president means nothing when the Supreme Court goes over his head and say, nope, you can't allow that. They can eat all the type of snacks they want to. You can't restrict that. We don't care if it's nutritious or not, even though it funds it back into the system. Y'all got to understand that the system is not meant for at least the middle class to flourish. It's literally meant for you to stay stagnant. You're literally taxed the most. The middle class, the lower class, the low class, and the high class are not taxed as much because the high class understands the game and the low class doesn't make enough for them to get taxed. So who do they tax? They tax the people in the middle trying to make it, just trying to feed their family. Those are the ones that are responsible to repopulate the American country. Those are the same ones that are being taxed the most. No one's hearing you, though. Imagine you're an employee. I'm going to give you an example, and we're going to skip subjects. Imagine you're an employee. You're bringing most of the revenue in the company. Of course, you're not the leader. That's fine. But they should heave to some of the information that you have because it's very important. You tell him very important information. He doesn't listen to you. He doesn't give a damn, even though all the revenue is coming from your sector of people. He listens to the one that doesn't work or he's listening to the high up that doesn't see anything go on, and not the person that's actually in the game, actually making it move. And that's the person that's having the most amount of work, but is being heard the least. That's what's going on right now. Us that sit in the middle class, they're not hearing us. They're allowing people to come in and take our money from us by force. We have no say. We can't stop from paying taxes, right? They're going to force us to do it, and that's fine. But the problem is when you allow these companies or these people, yeah, these people are going to get arrested, bro. I guarantee you none of them serve over 20 years. They can steal billions of dollars, but none of them are going to probably serve over 20 years. And let's say they did, right? They get a 30 ball. It's all worth it when there was billions of dollars on the line, right? It's all been, you just made a foundation, a foundation. At least you know you're getting out, and you got money stashed. They didn't make no profits from that. They made 180 million back from $6.5 billion lost. They already took the money and put it elsewhere. They already laundered it into the other businesses and making it work. Their little time is okay. So I want you guys to understand the severity of the situation. The middle class is going to be the class of the poor eventually. You have to get up higher, or you have to go back lower. How do you want to do it? But you can't stay in the middle. The middle is where you're drowning. You're trying to always float. This isn't it, ladies and gentlemen. I need you to understand the severity of it. You're either going to be poor or you're going to be rich. And I advise you to pick rich, because poor is in the middle is where they're finessing, and your voices are not being heard. But they want your voice. They want your vote, though. So it's your boy Angelo Savage, man. Open y'all eyes and see what's actually going on around here. A lot of people are confused. They don't understand, and they don't care to understand. They're NPCs. They walk around drifting, while the ones like us, we wake up, we look up in the mirror, we're like, I got to work again. Why did my taxes increase and my pay didn't increase? Why do I have to pay more and I'm not getting more? It's almost like a cycle that is not meant for me to get through it. Maybe I got to make something happen. But whatever I got to do, I can't stay in the middle. It's your boy Savage. Tell me what y'all think about this in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video for the YouTube algorithm, man. It's your boy Savage. We out of here. It's Savage Night News. Peace.